looking mightily grim for the Dutch at present. Alan Hansen, you tipped the Germans not only tonight but to win the tournament.
Alan Shearer.
What did I call you?
I did
what
tip
an
them.
insult that is, by the way, to me.
Now you can see why I did tip them on that first half performance.
No, I know I'm getting old.
After 10 minutes, 15 minutes of that half, I'm afraid it's men against boys. It really is. They're offering so much more than the Germans. Van Persie had a very, very good chance again, and he missed the chance, and you're just seeing the air being sucked out of the Dutch, I'm afraid, and they've collapsed in that half. It could have been, should have been 3 or 4. It should be all over with. And the big difference for me of that first half is you've got the Dutch who are playing such a rigid system, 4 at the back and 2 sitting midfield players in De Jong and Van Bommel, and they're not moving at all, whereas Germany, Khedira and Schweinsteiger are getting up to support Gomez. 2 fantastic finishes, 2 great balls from Schweinsteiger into his feet and great finishes.
Clarence, Shearer, you came into this tournament, the Dutch came into the tournament with high hopes, great expectations. They're in desperate trouble.
Yeah, unfortunately the first game didn't help, I would say. Again, a good start. Actually, I like the start, very aggressive. Got the chances there again. Unfortunately, no finishes, good finishes, and the Germans are just a team that, you know, grows into the game, and they did, you know, score when the chance came. And that is the big difference at the moment.
I thought it was a high-quality match. You know, some of the touching, the technique, the play was excellent. I agree with Al. The first 10 minutes, the Dutch, Van Persie had a couple of really good chances. Then the Germans came right back into it. I think defensively, both teams have had problems with the line, and no more so the opening goal. Gomez, it's a brilliant take by Gomez, but if you watch the full-back and the right-back, Van der Wiel here, he's too interested in what Podolski is doing instead of watching the ball. And he has a look there, he has a look there, he has a look there, and eventually he plays Gomez onside. I mean, it's a magnificent ball from Schweinsteiger and a fantastic take, but if he's doing his job properly, Clarence, it's not a goal.
It's not a goal, but also here we have again that the centre defender here, Heitinga, makes the same mistake he did against Germany. You're with your man, with your striker, stay with him. Schweinsteiger has to shoot it from, you know, 80 meters from the goal. Let him have the shot. You know, he freed actually the striker, and that was just another mistake in the error in the same action.
That's the difference, though. You've got Schweinsteiger who's passing that ball. Not once have I seen Van Bommel or De Jong virtually get in the German half.
But the big thing is about De Jong and Van Bommel, Al's right. Creatively they're doing nothing, but defensively they're very poor as well.
No,
so
it's not a great combination.
It's a poor combination.
A word on Gomez's finishing. It's the difference between the two sides,
Absolutely.
isn't it? You've got one striker in form and one striker out of form.
One striker had a great chance. Would normally put that away. All season we've seen him score goals like that for Arsenal. It hasn't happened for him in this tournament, but for Gomez, he is the big difference.
Second
you get
one
chances.
was a magnificent
finish.
finish.
It was a great finish. Good ball up, good play from Gomez. He reads the flick on. He gets the ball, his movement is brilliant again, but Schweinsteiger, he gets the ball back, and it's a lovely little ball, and yes, you could ask 1 or 2 questions of the goalkeeper, but I've got to give all the credit to Gomez, because that is a sensational finish. He lifts it because the keeper goes down a little bit. Lovely ball again from Schweinsteiger. First touch vision is fantastic. They know each other's game inside out. And just watch the goalkeeper go down. So what does he do? He actually lifts it over him. He doesn't even have a look because he knows where the goal is. And it's a brilliant finish. It really is.
The keeper is so culpable there. I mean, he just stays in the
He should save that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right in the corner. It's an inch from the post.
I'm not having it. Clarence, you were right when you said if he stays in his feet, he saves it.
I didn't say that. No, actually, I think that, you know, seeing the left back being in the center and the centre back being on the left, that says a lot about how the whole, you know, development of that action is.
I mean, there are a few other German chances as well, and Ozil has been, as you actually predicted, it's one of the predictions you got right before the game.
Terrific player, he really is. And I mean, it was a while after he's hit it, we actually picked up that he's hit the post here. It's such a great, you know, from the first angle, you don't realise it's like this angle here, it's like superb. The goalkeeper's got no chance, and then there's a penalty shout. Al, what do you think?
No, I think the referee gets it right. No, I don't think that's a penalty. No, not from, definitely not.
Too easy. Absolutely not.
But he's got a wonderful technique, Ozil. Really good.
And the other chance, of course, from Ozil free kick. He really should have scored. They should.
Has to score. I mean, this is a sitter. That is a sitter, that is.
I mean,
It really is.
Good save, nevertheless.
No, it's a bad miss.
but can we talk about Heitinga? Really, I think that it's impossible for a defender not to feel the man in this occasion. You could see it coming that he would go free. Huh? It's such a pity that he doesn't really have that attention in the box. He's a defender.
Early on in the game, Germans defended quite high, didn't they?
They were up the pitch, and the big thing we talked beforehand about togetherness, but you know, on a couple of occasions that was either Lam on the left-hand side was playing Van Persie on. I think this is the first 3 or 4 minutes that they've played a high line. This is the one there. I mean, that's like 3 or 4 minutes in, and Van Persie gets through, but obviously he's not a chance here, but this is a great chance. And like Al says, many times have we seen Van Persie burying one of these in this season for Arsenal. He could take a touch, he could do anything with that.
Thing is though, Alec, for a striker, he is keep going in there, and you know as well as I, sometimes it goes for you and sometimes it doesn't. If you keep getting in, there's going to be a chance.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Gary, you get judged in the big tournaments, and he's missed 3 or 4 big chances in the first game, and he's now missed, well, certainly one big chance. That one's a half chance, I think. But the volley, we've seen him 2 or 3 times in the season, looking at the ball, coming over his shoulder and finish it off. Yeah. And that is the difference. It really is. You get chances at this level. And in these competitions, you've got to put them away.
I was right. That one there was coming over Hummel's shoulder. He looks like he's snatching at it. Whereas the ones he's scoring for Arsenal, he's just hitting through it,
isn't it? I mean, Clarence, in contrast to the Dutch just getting one man up front a lot of the time, the Germans seem to get lots of players forward.
Absolutely, they are a little bit more confident in going up front, and we've seen it a couple of times where the Germans really get into the box with 3, 4 players, 5 players, and the whole team just going up front. And the Dutch actually have sometimes 2 players in the box, and that's the difference.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pop back to Kharkiv, where Martin Keown is doing a man-to-man marking job on Jake Humphrey.
Welcome back to the FC Metalist Stadium here in Kharkiv. We're actually eyeing these sprinklers with a bit of caution because they keep on coming over and nearly soaking us. But Martin, we're down here amongst the Dutch fans at this end, orange tops, red faces.
They certainly have, but the Germans, I mean, they're so clinical, aren't they? Gomez in front of goal. It's quite stunning. It's almost embarrassing for the Dutch. Van Marwijk now is in there with his team. Certainly they've got to respond to this. Got to make tactical changes because they were simply second best in that first half.
OK, let's imagine you're Van Marwijk. What do you say? What do you do?
Well, I think Huntelaar has got to come on now. Van Persie in a slightly deeper role. Van Bommel, I think it's the end of his international career. They're just too rigid in their midfield, him and De Jong. You contrast that with Gadira in midfield and Schweinsteiger. So fluid are they in that area that they then have the extra player in the final third that the Dutch don't think we have.
And as for Germany, they will know that that's going on in the Dutch dressing room. I guess that Joachim Löw will just be saying to his players, we can really make history here tonight. We can really punish these Dutch players.
They can. They've done it at a canter. They just have to be careful. Hummel at the back at the beginning looks very bit shaky, I thought. So the Dutch might feel that they can get in behind with those diagonal runs. So if you can get Sneijder playing those balls in behind their defence, you never know, the Dutch might respond, but I think it's almost out of their hands now.
OK, and you're an Arsenal fan, a Van Persie man. Is it time for Huntelaar to come on though, you think, replace him?
Without doubt, but Van Persie still has something to offer. Still looks class, but in front of goals, it's just not happening for him. OK,
thanks Martin. Well, it's a sticky and sweltering night here in Kharkiv. The heat could be about to be turned up massively though on Holland. They need something in this second half.
They certainly do. They need at least 2 goals, Clarence. Is there any way that you can see them getting back into this?
Well, we need some changes in definitely.
What changes would you make?
Well, I think that Avalai and Van Bommel in this case, I would take them out, put in Van der Vaart, and stay with Van Persie, Huntelaar up front, on the left with Sneijder, and then go for the attack. I mean, they have to.
There's nothing to lose, really.
No. Well, that's what you want. You want the Dutch all-out attack, and then the Germans to hammer them on the break. That'd be absolutely fantastic. It'd be great for the game.
Got to get more support up to the guys up front from midfield, whether that's Van der Vaart, Van Bommel, or De Jong. They've got to get rid of the 2 in the midfield for me and take Van Bommel off and get Van der Vaart in there just to try and get a bit of creativity.
They've got to take a chance. They've got nothing to lose.
It looks like Van der Vaart is coming on.
The game.
Yeah. Bommel is off because he has the captain band, so.
Very good spot, Clarence Seedorf. Yeah, it looks like Van der Vaart and Huntelaar as well. Yeah. You've named both changes there, Clarence, and you honestly didn't know.
But we need to know who's going off.
Well, you've said Van Bommel.
Captain's off.
I'm sure we'll find out. I'll tell you who definitely will know. Jonathan Pearce. He's with Mark Lawrence.